Hello and welcome aboard BDE Travels in our Camino de Santiago. In our last episode, we walked through the town of Orbigo. There we walked by Bar Elvis. We continued the walk until we reached Puente Villarente. Finally, we reached the beautiful town of León. There we visited the 16th Chapel of the Romanesque. We walked through El Barrio Húmedo and explored León's Cathedral of Lights. We visited Casa Botines, built by Antonio Gaudí. In today's episode, we leave the town of León. We walk through the San Marcos Cathedral, reaching La Virgen del Camino. We contemplate a very strange church. We say hi to a fellow peregrino. We looked at underground wine cellars. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel as we continue here on BDE Travels in our Camino de Santiago. Good morning, folks. This is day 21 in our Camino de Santiago. We're leaving the hotel right now, leaving the town of León. Right now it's around 65 degrees and scattered clouds around the area. So the rain is gone. Nevertheless, we're starting a brand new day here on the Camino de Santiago. Folks, as you start leaving the town of León, things start getting quieter, a lot less cars, a lot less people, so that's where the peregrino feels more comfortable. We just passed the first town, we're going down to the second town, and hopefully we'll be there before 10 a.m. Here's another thing you will notice is that when you're getting around this area, you start seeing this wine cellars. They got converted into houses, so you start seeing them a little more often. And you'll notice that every region's got different things. When you go through La Rioja, you see the vineyards, and when you come through the area of León, you see those wine cellars. Back in Navarra, you see the fields and the sheep, and as you go into Galicia, you see the hills. And interesting is that as you go through different regions, people, they have different foods. The wine is different. The things they do are different. So within Spain, you have many cultures, or microcultures, I would say. And it's very interesting. The north side, it's a lot cooler than the south side. And I'm really enjoying my walk here. So folks, leaving the town of Tradajos, there's a big industrial zone just before you get to the next city. Not much to see. You know, the pilgrim feels more comfortable up in the fields. But when it's inside the big towns, it doesn't feel that comfortable. Granted, there's a lot of things to do, more places to eat, more places to stay. But I don't know, I got the feeling that I like to be out in the open. It's quieter, gives you time to gather your thoughts and to enjoy the Camino even more. As we leave the town of Tradajos, we come across the town of La Virgen del Camino. There will be several signs pointing to different albergues in the town. Further, we had a chance to see the life of the people in Spain. Then we stumble upon this strange church. And a few feet away, you will see a booth. In this booth, there's a lady that will stamp your credentials for the day.
¿Cómo se llama la iglesia?
La iglesia se llama Santuario de la Virgen del Camino.
Santuario de la Virgen del Camino.
Sí.
En inglés no hay problema, yo lo llamo en inglés también.
Bueno, si lo prefieres en inglés.
Sí, no importa.
Este es más concreto del santuario.
Está bien.
El camino va por aquí, entonces llega un punto un poquito más adelante que o bien sigue recto, pero este camino va pegado a la nacional.
Ah, ok.
Entonces, bueno, es el camino real, el francés, lo que pasa que, bueno, pues hay tráfico, además en esta carretera hay bastante. O bien encontrarán un desvío hacia la izquierda que les lleva por este camino alternativo, que es un camino pues más tranquilo. Son pueblos pequeños y los peregrinos que han ido prefieren ir por aquí.
Well, folks, as you get here in the Camino, at the end of Virgen del Camino, there's a church called the Virgen del Camino. You can see it here on the screen. And there's a bifurcation right behind you. Once you cross and you go under the bridge, you can either go to the right, and what you do is you parallel the main road, or you can take the alternate route, which is 2 kilometers extra, but it's a little bit more comfortable for those who like to go out on the outskirts and the fields. So you have a choice. You can either stay parallel with the road, and I'm going to start walking because I got to cross the street. You can stay parallel to the road, which is Highway 120, or you can continue on the other side, which is going through the fields. I got to run because I almost got run over here. So you make the choice once you get to that point. There's a division, and once again, one takes you over the countryside, 9.5 miles, kilometers, I'm sorry, and the other one is 7, but you parallel the main road.
Up to this point in the Camino, both routes are the same. And at the end of this small hill, there will be a bifurcation, one to the left and another one to the right. Stay on your right and you will parallel the main road. Go to the left and you will take the alternate route.
Folks, once again, like I mentioned before, there's a bifurcation. After you leave the Virgen del Camino, you can either take to the left and go to the countryside, or stick to the right. You parallel the main highway. Most of the pilgrims, what they do is that they run away from the road and they go out to the countryside. So usually they take the left. But today, I'm running a little bit short of time. Over there is 9.5 kilometers. Over here is 7 kilometers. So I'm taking the shorter route. It's not as scenic. And once again, you do parallel the main road, which is not as desirable, but it's shorter. And I just want to shorten the distance today for us. Well, folks, as I was talking to the lady on the booth, she's telling me that, like I mentioned before, most of the pilgrims, they take the alternate route to go to the next town. Nevertheless, she's saying that due to the COVID-19 issue, most of the albergues, if not all of them, are closed on that area. So if you're doing a Camino on the time of the pandemic, just keep that in mind, that you're not going to see albergues until you get to Hospital de Orbigo, if you take the alternate route. If you stick to the what is actually the true Camino, which is paralleling the main road, the N120 highway, then there are a couple of hotels in there that you can use. But once again, keep in mind, if you're doing the alternate route, most of the albergues, if not all of them, are closed. This is some of the things you have to encounter. It gets really muddy and really bad. I hate when it rains on the Camino. Don't fall. Whatever you do, don't fall. Hi folks, I'm a little bit about 3/4 of a way for our final destination for today, which is Villandangos del Parano. 20-something kilometers. And one thing I wanted to point out is it's not if you're gonna get blisters, but when you do get blisters, make sure you take care of them. There's something that I use to protect, and it helps a lot. It's called moleskin. It's like a skin with a little bit of adhesive on the back, and you put it on your foot and it protects you from all the movement inside your shoe. Some people say that use Vaseline, keep it wet. Some people say keep them dry. I just try to put powder on my foot, keep them dry, and use the moleskin. And right now, you know, 20, 21, 22 almost days over, and maybe one blister at the most. So it's worked for me. You have to find out what works for you. We're reaching the last town. Once we get there, we'll stop at a cafeteria or a bar, get some water and a snack, and hopefully we'll call it a day there. Then we'll start tomorrow from there, and I think we're going to reach Hospital Orbigo or Astorga, I'm not sure. Well, you'll see in the video where we end up. Stay with us. We are in the Camino de Santiago in the middle of the pandemic. It's not being as easy. Right now crossing some vineyards, and I'm right next to the highway. Not the most beautiful scenery, but hey, we're here. Folks, we reached the next town, which is Valverde de la Virgen. So just a reminder, it's right next to the road, so it's loud, lots of trucks, lots of cars running around. Today I've seen a little bit more pilgrims than usual, close to 4 or 5. The next town will be San Miguel del Camino. It's about 4 kilometers out there. But right now we are continuing the Camino de Santiago. All right, folks, we reached the next town, San Miguel del Camino. It's starting to get tiring, but pretty much just one road paralleling the main road here. I think it's called N120 of the highway here in Spain. Few albergues open, a couple of stores. That's about it, but it's just one main road straight ahead to the next town. All right, folks, we're coming up on the Villandangos de Paramo. Strange names. At the beginning of the town, there's actually a hotel. So as you're coming in, if you take the route that parallels the N120 highway, there's a hotel on the left side, right on the Camino. So that's an alternative. And then further down the road, when you get to town, there's more albergues and places to stay. So it's close to noon now. We've done some very good time. We left Leon this morning, and now we're getting to a final destination.
After reaching Villandangos del Paramo, we continue to San Martín del Camino.
Well, folks, we pushed a little bit. We ended up in San Martín del Camino. It's a very congested town. While you're still on the road. Nevertheless, you make a slight right turn. You gotta be careful because this avenue is kind of dangerous to cross. But San Martín del Camino is very interesting because when you come around on this side, they have some solar panels, and at the end of this street coming up on my left, there's like a flying saucer in there. So it's a very interesting town, and you know you're in San Martín del Camino when you see that flying saucer up at the top. I'm going to show it to you right now.
After San Martín del Camino, we continue to walk to Hospital de Orbigo.
Well, folks, we're entering Hospital de Orbigo. And this town in particular, it's very interesting because it has a very peculiar bridge with a history. I'm going to tell you about the history in a few minutes. We're going to walk and go across the bridge, Still with us here at BDE Travels in the Camino de Santiago. Keep joining us. Make sure you subscribe.
We go into town through the bike route. In our next episode, we'll show you the alternate route going into Hospital de Orbigo. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel as we continue here on BDE Travels in the Camino de Santiago.